tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Sober Saturdays. Here we are on a sober Saturday. So I was a few minutes late. The grandchildren kind of come first. One of them had sore legs, probably growing pains. She probably needed to stretch before doing something, didn't do it. Remember when you were young and you didn't have to stretch to do anything? Yeah, I found out at 23. I went skiing for the last time. That was the last time I went skiing. I couldn't walk for like 3 days because I didn't stretch. I had to crawl up the stairs. I didn't even bother going to the doctor for it. There was no reason. They were just, what were they going to do? All right, so I learned my lesson at about 23 that, yeah, you should probably stretch before you do anything like going skiing. I thought it was going to last forever. No. Now I have to stretch before I even go up the stairs. So I'm kidding. I don't need to. I don't. But I do a lot of stretching. I do a lot. I stretch here like all the time, actually. All right. I got to turn this off because I didn't do it the way I usually do it. Usually I sing music until it's all done and it's going and stuff. I turned it off at the last second. Today I didn't get to do that. So a little different. Good morning, Michelle. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Saturday. Yeah. I don't know what else to talk. I don't really have anything else to really get us started. So yeah, usually I have a mini topic. It's usually a gripe or something that I bring up. I saw one person earlier. They were, oh man, just going after AA, man. I don't totally disagree with everything they say, but I can see the anger. I mean, people are like going out of way out of their way to, it's just, I gotta say, when it happens, my first reaction is anger. That is my first reaction. How could this fucking bitch sitting out? Nope. Backspace that stuff. All right. Why is everything? It's like, okay, so if I go through Instagram right now, and what I'm gonna do is, right, I'm just gonna click on this right here, right? And I'm just gonna click, and it's gonna take me. Well, we'll do good. That's of course. There we go. All right. So see how it's gone to a. All right. Okay. So if I scroll, what happened to the sound? Oops, I didn't mean to like it. Here, we'll turn on the sound. Right now, watch.
If someone you love dies right now,
Fear.
Probably this is no shade, but if you're an adult wearing a backpack, you're not
complaining.
Doing good.
I love Colorado, but it's time for some tough love. Here are 5 things about Colorado that make my eyes roll.
See, more complaining.
Ever leaves his card on your
telling people how to approach an officer. Where's all the toxic stuff? Real stories of recovery by doctors. It's all bullshit. All of it's bullshit. Here's one putting men down. Imagine buying a house between Boulder and Denver and finding out it's near a Superfund site. More complaining. But it's going to be toxic, 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 toxic. Get over it, people. Get over yourselves. All right. Michelle said she had a fantastic morning meeting. Yeah, you're here. It hasn't even happened yet. She already thinks it's fantastic. I'm kidding. We do 1 4-step. 1. The rest is maintenance. That's what we were talking about today. I've been seeing a lot of people like, oh, I gotta do suddenly. And what is with this 4-stepping biography, autobiography stuff, man? Yeah. That's the wrong one. Funny dad jokes. You know, just whatever. I don't want to be in a bad mood, so I ain't gonna talk about it. All right. Because for some reason I let that stuff get to me. I'm not sure why. I don't like it when people cut down. I mean, it's like I literally want to punch them because they're driving people away from something that might work for them. And this is the biggest contention. When you get here, it's like we fooled you into some kind of religious practice. That's always what they go for. Okay. You know, you can sit there and point the finger, but what they never talk about is a solution to the problem. Ever. Because they don't have one. Because they don't have one. The solution to their problem is putting down AA. But of happiness, I don't see them finding much. All right. You know what time it is? It is 11:11. That's what time it is. And Amber's probably here. If it's at 11, no, Amber's not here yet. Okay. She might show up. It's Saturdays. All right. So, but you know what time it is besides 11:11? It is time for Dion's Daily Funnies. I thought about having my grandkids do these, but I didn't have enough time. Why is it bad to iron a 4-leaf clover? Because you should never press your luck. Wow, you don't press your luck. When's the last time you found a 4-leaf clover? When was the last time you hung around in enough grass to find a 4-leaf clover? It's been a long time for me. See, we used to do that. We used to just hang out in parks and stuff because there wasn't, the good old days, right? What did one hat say to the other? Wait here, I'm going on ahead. What keys unlock a banana? Monkeys. Well, my jokes are driving people off. What we just did that one. All right. What's blue and doesn't weigh much? Light blue. What happened to the frog who parked illegally? Well, he got towed. He got towed. All right. Got milk. Got towed. All right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. You're never going to be able to get rid of me. I'm gonna probably be doing this till the day I die. I don't know that you're ever gonna get rid of me. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be on my deathbed. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Your Google account is being deleted. Well, which one? DionMiller9 at Gmail. I don't even know. Yeah, I remember that one. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Michelle said these jokes are pretty good. Yeah, they're not bad, huh? Yeah. I try and keep I was about to say I try and keep it light, but that's not true. I'm always I'm always stirring the pot. Maybe not always, but usually, yeah, usually. All right. So, the 4-step is not meant to be a permanent loop. That doesn't In fact, when I was doing my 4-step and I finished it, this is what my sponsor said. He said, "Okay, Dion, the key now is not to cop any more resentments. That is the point." All right. Now I'm going to do a full video on how to write a 4-step. Actually, let me rephrase that. I am going to do a video, be within the next month, on how I did a 4-step. I think there's probably a couple of ways, but it's about this is mostly what I want you to see. Well, you're not going to be able to see it, right? Because I'm not going to show you my 4-step, because then people can screenshot and all that other stuff, right? So here's my grudge list. Haha, you can't do it, right? But here, we'll just use a blank piece of paper. Like, you see how you have your ledge right here, right? This is what's called a ledger right here, or tab, okay? Right here, I have names written, all right, on a piece of paper. And I only got one line. I only got one line to write the grudge, because we have to get down to causes and conditions. Okay. Now, please keep in mind, I like to preface this first. People make mistakes. I haven't been the best parent. All right. So, but because I'm gonna utilize my mom. Okay. Now, my mom's been in the program a long time. So, okay. She's changed. Things have changed. Okay. For the most part. Not everything has changed. Not everything that I want to change has changed. We'll put it that way. Right? But you don't always get what you want, right? So no biggie there. But the one thing that I wrote was she made it harder for me to make up with blank. I'm not going to say the name, right? That was a particular. Now I could go through and write all these particulars down. It's going to take me forever just to write on one person. I had to get down to the cause and condition. I was taught that you stay away from particulars. You stay away from them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now save that for your therapist. Get into the particulars with your therapist. You might be able to get into the particulars with your sponsor. All right. But what did it come down to? What was the feeling? Treats me differently than the other kids. That's what it came down to. Right? Now we're working with something. Now, all the other lists that I do, and there are, I think there's 12 of them. So here's 1, 2, 3, and I'll tell you what they are, right? So the first one was the grudge list. I get down to the cause and condition. Next was self-esteem, my feelings. How did it affect my feelings? And it starts with I am or I am not. So that's 2. Pocketbook, yes or no. That's 3. Ambitions, that's 4. Security, that's 5. How I expect them to be, that's 6. Dishonest, that's 7. How was I dishonest? How was I selfish? That's 8. Self-seeking, inconsiderate, that's 9. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Fear. What's the fear there? That's 10. And then my fear list, that's 11. And then then we got into the sex inventory. Now we're at 11. How was I dishonest? That's 12. How was I selfish? That's 13. How was I inconsiderate? Now we're talking about our sex relations. This is what 13, I think. Did you cause jealousy, suspicion, or bitterness? That's 15. Were you at fault? Yes or no? That is 16. What should I have done differently? 17. There we are. 17 lists. There's a rhythm to it. Okay. But simple, straight, forward, causes, conditions, fearless, thorough. These are the keywords to a 4-step. Okay. These are the other skills that I was taught during my 4-step. Number 1, I was to grab my book. Right. I was to grab my book. And you don't have to worry about being quiet and stuff because they can't hear you, honey. I love you. My grandkids love me so much. I don't know what I did, but I want to make sure I do more of it. Okay. They were telling me last night how they're like, you're the fun one. We get that fun over here, and we do this. Fuck, this is gonna make me cry. All right, so the other part about the 4-step, and I get to feel this way because I did my 4-step, because I continue taking personal inventory. And I will too. We're going to cover a couple of things where people confronted me on some things this week, right? Not confronted, but suggested, right? Suggested things, right? So, all right. So this is how I was taught. I was to work on my 4-step 15 to 20 minutes a day. Before I opened it up, God, please give me guidance and direction. Nice, simple. God, I need your help. Please help me be fearless and thorough, whatever it is that you need. And then I sit down for 15 to 20 minutes and I work on my 4-step. At some points, I might have to sit there and think for a little bit. Ding, ding, ding. It's been 20 minutes. Okay. No 21 minutes. Nope. 15 to 20 minutes. I am to close this. And I did this every day that I was doing my 4-step. I close it. God, this is yours now. And I take it and I put it away. I'm not allowed to touch it until the next day. And okay, and it may sound silly, but you're learning a few things. Number 1, before you start, you're asking God for direction. We're teaching you how to ask God for direction. Then while we're writing it, we're involving God. We're involving those things. Then when we're done and we close it, we are letting God, because we don't want to sit with these feelings for the rest of the day. Don't want to do that, because this can bring up some trauma, man. So you let it go. That's why you say, God, this is yours now, and you put it away. Later that day, you're probably going to think of more things that need to go on the 4th list. No, it's God's now. You don't get to touch it until the next day. Well, I might forget. That is for God to determine. That's for God to determine. See, now what are we doing? Now we're working on trusting God. All of that through a few simple actions. But when it is repeated for 20, 30 days, because I got 17 lists, it's probably going to start to take effect, isn't it? Yeah, it will start to take effect. All right, so let's go ahead and get into, we do one 4-step. Now, sometimes people, maybe they collect things along the way. And if you need to do a 4-step once a year and it's working for you, I don't want to sit here and tell you not to do it. That's not for me to, okay. But, but the big book does kind of say that we do it once. All right. I should have found the part in the book first. I'm going to go to my sponsor, Big Book, because it opens up where I need it to. Right. So we'll get to a part in the Big Book here shortly. So why does this topic keep confusing people? Because I notice that it is. And I will tell you why it confuses people. It is the sponsor. And I'm not putting down sponsors, but it would be the sponsor because they're only following direction. They're following your direction. Right? So we need to, what we're doing here is we're clearing up some common misunderstandings. What is this step for? What is step 4 for? Too many fours of that. Okay. We are identifying patterns, fears, habits, defects. All right. The second thing that we're doing is we're clearing away the wreckage of the past. You can't really build a good foundation when there's rubble everywhere. You cannot live in the moment when your brain is in the past feeling bad about the things that you have done. I had I had one sponsor who was kind of future tripping a little bit this because sometimes you'll hear somebody tell their story and you're going to want to do it, right? And it's actually a good sign. It's a very good sign. You may not be ready yet, okay? When you tell your story, you should probably have finished the steps maybe over a year. It really depends on your situation, but you do need to complete the steps first, okay? I don't want to sit here and say 1 year because I've had several people who have completed the steps who have been on my podcast with under a year and they were great speakers. They had the key is having enough of what it is like now. That's the key. All right, because that's what we really want to get to. A lot of our stories are the same. A lot of our story, our feelings, our emotions, the patterns, those things that we're very familiar with that, right? So what else here are we doing? Well, we're creating more awareness, and awareness is just be understanding the problems that we're doing. Like when I went through that, man, repetition, it was driven into my mind. I kept repeating myself, and that was kind of the point. See, Dion, insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay. What else does the 4 step do? It prepares us for change because in 6 and 7, you're going to go through a growing spurt and it's going to be uncomfortable. But now you feel like you're part of the whole. Forgiveness has happened, right? What's kids doing? Who knows what they're doing? I'm like, what are the grandkids doing? Who knows what they're doing? Well, I should know what they're doing. I'm the sometimes I forget I'm the adult in the room. Sometimes I forget I'm the adult. Oops. All right. What is not the 4 step? It is not a daily activity. No. All right. But the 10th step is okay. It's not constant self-examination. It is not a way to relive the trauma. That is why we have got to get down to causes and conditions. When we I know journaling can be really good, but we're trying to get you through the 4 step. I was talking with somebody yesterday. I'm like, you still work on your 4 step? It's been 3 months. That's too long. It's too long. All right. But who am I to say? I gave my experience. I gave a little bit of my opinion because this person is kind of close to me. But I also let them know you do what your sponsor tells you to do because that's God working in your life. And I ain't going to argue with that either. There's a reason that you're doing it that way. So hands off, right? Yeah. Hands off. So it was not my place to tell somebody what to do. Nope. It doesn't matter who it is. Not endless digging through the past. You're going to kind of get into these anyway when you do the 9th step and you go talk to these people because they're probably going to want to talk about the particulars. If they want to talk about the particulars, you let them, but you stay out of it. Give me 1 second here. I got to blow All right. Thank you for allowing me to do that, even though you never gave me your permission. All right. So rewriting inventory does not equal growth. Why redoing the 4-step can be harmful. You can get stuck. Right. So what you're doing is you're allowing resentments to build up again. And this can lead to drinking. Yes. Not doing the 10th step can lead to drinking. Oh, it's just a little problem. Water under the bridge. No. Right? What is a 10th step? It's a really, really quick 4-step because you did a bunch of it. Yeah, it's repetitive. It should kind of be in your mind now. Oh, this came up. Where am I being selfish? Where am I being dishonest? Am I creating jealousy? Am I doing this? See, we talk about it. Oh, yeah. 10th step. Okay, because we cannot live in anger, and when we allow resentments to live in our life, we cannot live in the now, which is what? Well, it's imperative that we live in the now, or we sicken and die. Okay, it reinforces self-obsession. Every year, I like to sit down and write about myself. Okay. It confuses awareness with healing. You got to heal from it. You did the 4 steps so you could heal. And you did your 4 steps so you could heal, so you could be of maximum service to God and the world around you. Okay. And that is in the 10th step. But if you build more resentments between 5 and 10, that's no good. You're not going to be able to do it. You won't be able to live in the now. I'll take care of that next time I do a 4-step. That's not going to work. What happened when we decide to not work on our problems now? Okay. So let's say I did a 4-step last month and I do one a year, but I upset somebody now. So it's going to be 11 months before I decide to make a decision to make an amends to this person. It's too late. It's too late. It's 11 months too late. So you're going to live with that for the next 11 months. Okay, if that's what you want to do. But there's a better way. There is a better way. All right. Shift from inventory to maintenance. Inventory is uncovering, maintenance is applying it. You have to start applying the principles in your life. All these principles in all of our affairs. All right. Growth comes from living differently, not digging deeper. If you want to dig deeper, go to therapy. Right? Because there's going to be some things that seem like a resentment that are anger, which are actually trauma. PTSD looks a lot like resentment, but but the process is not the same. But what the 4th and 5th step can do for PTSD is get to the cause and condition so that when you go to your therapist, you know what to work on. And isn't knowing half the battle? Yes. Then you can go to and be like, this is what I found out. Then they'll be able to add to that. And since they know, they will be able to help you more. AA does not do trauma. We don't. And anybody that claims that we do, well, they're wrong because we don't. Nowhere in here does it say, yeah, go to your sponsor with your trauma. No, it says seek outside help is what it says. Refreshing, right? That's refreshing. So what does maintenance actually look like? It's ongoing self-honesty, right? So the other day we had our group conscious, and it was brought up to me that I was kind of cross-talking in the group, right? And they were not incorrect. Okay. Sometimes I've just been around a lot, and sometimes I make mistakes too. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it pissed me off. Okay. But like you, I also have intrusive thoughts, right? So I had to work through that. It took me a few minutes to kind of work through it on the best way to do it. Because what I heard was a problem, but what was the solution? Right? And one person brought up, well, Dion, you're kind of the leader and people are following you, and it's legitimate. They're not required to, but you know, and that point that kind of pissed me off too. I'm like, well, go find your own way, but they're not wrong. This is why we have to confront our emotions. All right. So if you confront me and I get a little pissy at first, please don't be offended. I'm not upset with you. I'm upset because I'm not getting what I wanted. And trust me, I can work through that pretty quick. All right. But what was the solution? The solution was sacrifice. All it was. The solution was sacrifice, giving up a little bit for the betterment of the whole. Because what I was saying in between wasn't really crosstalk, but what it was doing was influencing other people to kind of do that. See, I've been a counselor, I've been a lot of things. So I sometimes I forget what arena I'm in and I'll put on my counseling hat or something. It's also part of my wanting to save the world, right? But I have a lot of cool little things, I think. Okay. But in that arena, they don't belong in that arena. So in this case, if I'm going to be a good leader, then I need to hear that. Okay. And make the change. And it came to me, I'm like, oh, I can go one step further with this. Okay. And I said, if if it looks like it's happening again, please send me something in chat and let me know because I don't always see it. I am a little bit more aware of it now. Now, what are we doing? Now we're working together. There isn't a blame. There isn't pointing fingers. It isn't all this other stuff. Does it still kind of hurt? Yeah. But that's because I'm emotionally sensitive. See? And how do I know these things? Because I did my fourth and fifth step and I continue working on it daily. Now, what if I would let that go until I did my next fourth step? Then the change wouldn't have been made till I did my next fourth step. That's why I'm bringing it up. Do you think the group would have been okay with change in 11 months? No. I've got to take care of it right then and there. It's okay to be wrong if you're willing to make it right. It's what we're talking about. I didn't say go do things that are illegal and admitting it makes it right. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. That's not an excuse to go out and you silly alcoholics. So maintenance is 10, 11, and 12. And you can actually live in 10, 11, and 12 from the moment you walk into the program. You may not have all the skills, but you can certainly work towards it. Right. So growth comes from living differently, not from digging deeper. Right. Just like my granddaughter right before that, my legs hurt. It's growing pains. We also go through growing pains. And it might hurt physically a little bit. Mostly it's spiritual. And it doesn't usually really hurt as much as it is uncomfortable. All right. So maintenance looks like ongoing self-honesty, quick correction, daily spiritual practices, accountability, and service. So now something might come up. Something might come up to where you might have to utilize the fourth step. All right. But it's not going to be like the one that we were just talking about. You're going to sit down with your sponsor and you're going to go over it and talk about it. You may not even have to write it out. I had one like that. It just kept going and going and going and going. And I finally had to down with somebody and hash it out, figure out where I was wrong in this situation. Did I owe any amends? Did I, then I was able to kind of let it go by piecemeal. Okay. Yeah. It's happened to me. So you might need to, like, maybe there's a major life change, or stagnation could be one. Direction from a sponsor, trusted, if somebody else is telling you, oh, you have to do another 4-step, then they probably didn't teach you how to do the 4-step correctly the first time. Or maybe you're with a different sponsor. Maybe you've gone and gotten a different sponsor. All right. Here's the thing. We're supposed to continue going through the steps. Well, I'm supposed to go through the steps. Yes, you are. You're supposed to go through them. The first time you do it with a sponsor, then you do it with sponsees. That is how you go through the steps over and over again. You get sponsees. Quit being the student and become the teacher. Stop being the student. Become the teacher. It's a shift. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out of the big book a little bit here. And I'm going to start on 84, where the 10th step starts. This thought brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. It's very, very clear. We vigorously commenced this way of living as we cleaned up the past. What are they saying? They're saying that you move. Do you think you're going to finish step 9? Do you really think you're going to finish it? You're never going to finish step 9. You're going to do the best that you absolutely can. That's what we're going to do. But there are some people that I may never be able to make my amends. So we get to, you go for what's called the low-hanging fruit, right? I have my sponsees do usually 1 or 2, right, while we are moving into step 10. Then as the weeks go by, how is the 9th step going? I was able to make this amend and get this amend taken care. Okay. See, and that's what we do, right? Because we cannot sit on step 9. I don't like waiting between 9 and 10. It's cool if they can get one in, So we have entered the world of the spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. But if I'm still caught up in stuff because I got to do another 4-step, take care of it now. Don't wait. How would you like it if somebody worked that way with you? Well, I only make amends after I do my 4-step, and I'm not doing another one for 3-4 months. See, selfish, controlling, manipulative, that's all old behavior. And that's how you're working. If you're waiting, that's how you're working your life. Try it this way. Watch what happens. That angst is going to go away. Your anger, you're still angry. I know you are, because you're holding on to resentment. Amber says, I'm here now. Start over. Oh, it's only 40 minutes. I can start over. All right, let me get the theme song going here. All right. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was probably the best joke today, though. Hi, Amber. It's good to see you. I figured you'd get here before the end. So, all right. So, our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. It should continue for a lifetime. And thank God. I'm 55. I've learned a lot of life. I may not be hugely book smart, but I am street smart. I'm pretty intelligent when it comes to emotional sobriety. This program, okay. Now you can have all the intelligence you have around it, but without applying it, that doesn't mean anything, does it? It's got to have action with it. Absolutely, it does. Right? So it's going to continue for a lifetime. Hey, but what a great thing. I need something that is going to keep me striving for a lifetime. That's all right. It's not an overnight matter to continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. Then it says when these crop up. It doesn't say if these crop up, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Some days you may have to make 3, 4 amends. If you're going through a day and you're having to make a lot of amends, you might want to check your attitude. Well, I have the 10th step, so I could be a dick. That's not an excuse. That's not a very good excuse, man. I've said it. You know what? I'm willing to make amends for that. Meaning I'm, go to jail or whatever I need to do because they didn't like what they did. No, don't. It's funny to say, but don't follow through on it. Okay? All right. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. All right? Oh, I am recognizing I'm being selfish. God, can you help me remove that? Save me from being angry. Your will, not mine. And you could even just do that. Oh, I see where that's at. God, your will, not mine. Tag, you're it. Your will, not mine. It's very quick. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Now, back then, they're like, okay, we discuss them with someone immediately. They had the phone and the telegraph, and to call long distance costs a lot of money. Now, there's all sorts of ways to do this immediately. There's so many different ways to chat. I mean, like right here, I've got email, I've got WhatsApp, I've got, let's see, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, my regular texting. Look at all that communication. So there is no excuse to not be able to talk to somebody immediately. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance is our code. Now, here's the key. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. Right? So, we'll work on wrapping this up. Remember, we don't keep digging up the past to stay sober. 1 4-step and then daily maintenance. And our reflection question today: am I maintaining my recovery, or am I stuck re-examining my past? All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on